you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride. Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Man, do we have a radio show for you guys today. Jim Beaver here in the house. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. And we have a radio show of epic proportions coming at you here. I am flying solo today. Got to throw that out there. My partner in crime, Amy Hood, she has some obligations this week that are very important, and hopefully sometime down the road we can talk about them. But all I have to do is say if she's missing Ryan Dungey and Ken Roczen and Collette Davis, then you know there's a really good reason why she's not here. And trust me, I'd love to let the cat out of the bag, but I can at this point in time, and I'm sure it'll come out eventually. But I am flying solo today. But, man, guest list today, massive. Ryan Dungey. We have Ken Roczen. Red Bull GRC's Collette Davis. We got Joe Duncan from Terracross. We got Sean Kepler calling in talking jump champs. Literally every single segment is packed this week on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. And, man, this is some epic good radio going to be coming at you guys the rest of this hour and the next one, man. Hang tight, strap in. It is going to be one heck of a ride here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here. We've got 2016 Supercross champ Ryan Dungey on the line, and I got to say that has a pretty good ring to it, Ryan.
Yeah. No, it's definitely exciting. This past weekend was able to wrap up the championship, so definitely very fortunate and excited to get it done another year. You know, it's last year winning in 2015 the title, but trying to back it up again and the challenge of it. So it's cool to finally say we've done it. You know, a lot of effort gone into it, but yeah, we've got one more race left coming up, so we'll try to finish it strong. Finish the season out good.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, I mean, heading into this year, I mean, obviously you came off last year, and that was, I don't want to say breakout year because you had a Supercross title before, but you know what I mean? It was like, the reemergence of Ryan Dungey. I mean, heading into this season, there's preseason, there's rumors about, all kinds of guys. I mean, what were your goals? Obviously you wanted to back up the title, but what were you expecting heading into 2016?
Well, without a doubt, it's going to be a challenge, absolutely. And, two things, the challenge of defending the title and the challenge of, competing every single week and, with a lot of multiple guys who are giving us a lot of fights. I mean, obviously there's not one or two guys out there that we're competing against as far as going for a win. I mean, there's the depth of talent is so deep. There's a good 10 guys that could win on any weekend, and so positioning ourselves good and getting good starts, and also the preparation coming into the season, that's where everything kind of really builds off of and starts from. And with Team Red Bull KTM, my team I'm on, and the testing and everything that we've done preseason coming in, we knew we had to get our homework right and be right on point. So I tried to focus on that. And when the season started, just try to really come into it strong and maintain it and maintain that consistency too, or try to. So, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, defending, winning in 15 was great, but to back it up and defend it again was another challenge, and it wasn't easy, that's for sure. I mean, definitely a lot's going on, a little bit of, the pressure and everything of doing it, but, just more try to focus on week in and week out, giving it my all and doing my best, the preparation during the week and doing it 100%, and then same with on the weekend too, just executing our plan of attack and good starts and good laps, no mistakes, and trying to rack some wins up. That so that was it. So.
Yeah. Well, and heading into the 2016, I mean, Supercross is a grind. I mean, I would say the only other series that I could think of that's, this much of a grind would be something, like NASCAR, where every single week, I mean, you guys get like one break the entire season. I mean, a lot of guys, it seems like, they hit plateaus, and they're really hot and then they go down and then they bounce back. I mean, how hard is it for you? I mean, to get the lead in round two and, to have the red plate, all season long. I mean, a lot of guys, it seems like, they fall back a little bit in the points. They can take a breather, you know what I mean, and then try and make a charge. But I mean, you're there, you're the guy, you've got a target on your back, each and every week, and there's no breathing room at all.
No, absolutely, and I think that's another challenge. I mean, like you said, we raced 17 weekends in 18 weeks. We raced 17 of those weekends, so we get one weekend off in the middle, and two, that's what the that's why it's so important to be prepared coming into season and being mentally fresh. You know, I mean, the physical side's got to be there, mental side's got to be there, because those shit can start clicking off back to back to back, and it wears on a guy, you know. But that was always something in my career. Like, I've seen that. You know, I've seen a guy who was there, and then the mental side would start to kick in and wear a guy out, and then he'd fall off a little bit, and then he'd make a charge at the end of the year. But I more wanted to always, you know, it's a challenge, for sure, it's tough, but, you know, finding that mental edge to keep digging deep even when the times get tough, and you know, it's a lot of routine in our sport. We're riding during the week, 3 days a week, and then fly Friday, race Saturday, back Sunday. So I really wanted to focus on, you know, doing my best and giving it, you know, being there every single weekend, you know, and you have to be as well. You know, there's too many guys out there that will take advantage of you slacking off or if you have an off weekend, you know. So, like I said, you know, being consistent and trying to consistently win, or if not winning, at least being on the podium. And, you know, that red plate, it's good, you know, and to have the points lead, but the focus wasn't like, oh, we're in the points lead, now we have everything to lose. You know, the focus was to build on it, you know, to keep building in, you know, in a sense, especially at the beginning of the series into the middle. I mean, there's way too much racing to even start thinking about the points. So the motivation was there, and the excitement factor. So, yeah, it's a grind, but it's one that I enjoy, you know. I mean, I don't have to ride dirt bikes. You know, I get to ride dirt bikes for a living, you know. It's pretty exciting, and to race for that, you know. So it's a lot of perspective is everything in that as well.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, and compare these three championships, because none of them become easy. I mean, every single time you take the gate, you know, people can say, oh, so-and-so was injured, it was a little bit easier, but so-and-so's injured, and there's always a guy, you know, willing to, you know, to fill that spot and push you. You know, there's always another guy in line. I mean, compare the three championships. I mean, you know, which one, you know, of the three, do any of them stand out in your mind that was just a little bit tougher to win than the others?
Yeah, I mean, I get asked that a lot. Which one meant the most to you? Well, it's kind of hard to say because they all have so much meaning, you know, and especially, you know, with 2010, I was a rookie. It was my first year in the 450 class, and I knew I had maybe a good shot, but everything worked out in the end. I was able to wrap up a title, and only McGrath was able to do that, so it was kind of a tall order. I knew that going into the season, but being a rookie in the 450 class my first year, that was exciting in itself, and, you know, from getting my first 450 win and then the championship, it was like amazing, you know, everything I could have dreamed of at that point. And then, you know, had some tough years, was trying to figure some things out, and then I started racing. I moved over to the team I'm on now, Team Red Bull KTM, and I started with them, and they weren't such a popular brand here in the States. As far as they were popular, but not on the competitive side. You know, they weren't winning races by any means, but you know, I went with them and signed with them, and it took some years to get it figured out. So, but in 2015, when we got the Supercross title last year, I mean, that was special in its own, just because it was KTM's first 450 Supercross title, which, you know, for them it was a big step in America, and for myself to be a part of that and to provide or be able to come through for them, that was exciting as well. And then now in 2016, the challenge of backing it up and doing it again, you know, and trying to pull off another championship is a tall order as well. And to do it again back to back was the goal of mine coming into the year. So, you know, the three, you know, have their own meanings, but, you know, it's hard to pick one, but they're all special in their own ways.
Yeah. Well, and how has it been for you as a rider working with Roger? I mean, obviously he's worked with some of the best, you know, some of the best Supercross riders of all time. I mean, you know, how has it been working with him, and how have you seen your riding and, you know, and the way you attack races change since, you know, teaming up with him?
Well, I mean, that's the guy who gave me the opportunity of a lifetime in the professional ranks, you know, being able to sign with him back in 2006 and having a factory ride, and that was just the bonus of it all. But him to be able to work with somebody who has so much knowledge and experience in racing, you know, he raced 20 plus years, and now, I mean, for 30 plus years he's been a team manager, and just all that knowledge and wisdom and being able to go to somebody who understands the sport, understands the mental side, the physical side, and the bike side. I mean, he's got the whole package, in a way. So, working with him has been, I really feel, I probably wouldn't been, I don't think I would have had as much success as early in my career as I did if it weren't for Roger. From starting with him, I was able to kind of really grow fast. And I was also around guys like Ricky Carmichael at the time and then Ivan Tedesco. So I was riding with the top of the best of the sport at the time and then working with the best team manager in the business, in my opinion. And Roger, and he took me in. He took me in like a son, He really, I listened to him. I was always interested in everything he had to say, and even to this day, I learned things from him, and not just on the track or in racing, but in life lessons in general. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure, we've been able to really grow our friendship and our relationship, and he's an awesome guy, and it sure is a pleasure and an honor to work with such a good guy,
All right, we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. When we come back, we're going to finish up this interview with my buddy Ryan Dungey.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here. We got 2016 Supercross Champ, I guess 2015 and 2016 back-to-back Supercross Champ Ryan Dungey hanging out on the line. And I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about Ryan Villopoto. There was a couple of years, there. I don't want to say in the middle of your career because I would say you're in the middle of your career, but between when you won your first Supercross championship and then the 2015 championship, where it seemed like week in, week out. I mean, you and Ryan Villopoto were 1-2. I mean, how was it racing against a guy that people want to talk about? You can count the best Supercross riders of all time on one hand, and obviously at this point you and Ryan both come into the picture. But I mean, how was it? How did that raise your skill level? And what did you learn from racing against Villopoto for those couple of years? I mean, literally bar to bar every single week.
Well, at the time going through it, obviously Villopoto, he's a tough competitor. He's proven that. He's shown he was very dominant for many years in a row. And I mean, our battles go back to the amateur days, and when we were kids. And I remember growing up, and he's always been tough to beat. He's always a tough competitor. And the tough part was getting beat. I was like, gosh, man, what is it? Like, what do I got to do? And then you start searching a little bit, and that's never good because then that creates a little bit of doubt. But I don't regret any of it. He definitely, I would say won multiple championships over the battles we had over the years. He came out ahead, but at the same time, I'm able to look back at it now and realize how much better of a person it made me and how much better of a rider. If it weren't for him, and he wouldn't have pushed me to that next level that I probably needed to be at right now to perform and to win, and to be a title contender. So it was tough going through it at the time, but like they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and it really did. It wore me out to the point I thought about it a lot and probably didn't handle it like I should, but it really did. He made me a better rider and stronger rider. I just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. Well, that being said, right now you're riding at such an elite level. We got one round left here in Vegas this weekend, the finale, and then, roll right around into motocross. I mean, how you as a rider, what kind of adjustments do you have to make to, when you switch gears and go to the outdoors?
Definitely the bike setup's a little bit different, and the one thing you got to remember too, we've been riding Supercross all year, and our bike setups are more stiffer, a little bit more aggressive engine package, and kind of a different chassis adjustments and so forth. So we're kind of used to the stiffness, So the transition, you got to really be careful not to, because outdoors you want a lot more softer, a lot more comfort, and a little bit more less aggressive engine package. So you kind of have to be careful because you're so used to one way, and then you got to adapt to this other way. And so we'll make the necessary adjustments needed, and we've been testing already. We've been riding outdoors the last over a month, 1 day a week, and now we're starting to bump that up, being that we're so close. And so I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward. It's nice to wrap this title up here in Supercross, and yeah, absolutely. I'd like to finish up in Las Vegas strong. I like going there and racing in that town, and then or in the city, and so. Then we'll have a couple weeks, and then the first round of outdoors will get underway. So we'll be testing a little bit in between Las Vegas and Hangtown and trying to get our setup better and, physically getting better as well, too. So we're pushing. Got trainer Alvin Baker and the boys that I ride with, Jason Anderson and Marvin Musquin. So we got it going.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, I mean, obviously outdoors is coming up, but, looking, 3-5 years down the line, I mean, obviously, you're riding at such a high level right now. I mean, we're going to see you in Supercross and outdoors for years to come. But, I mean, 5-10 years out, I mean, where do you want to be? Do you want to still be on a bike? I mean, have you eyed anything in the, in the four-wheel market? I know a lot of ex-Supercross guys, it seems like, they start looking at off-road trucks and rallycross cars and things like that. I mean, those opportunities have had to pop up for you here and there.
Well, I mean, for sure, I definitely love the opportunities that come the way, but, right now I think the focus is on racing. And, as long as I can do it and be competitive and give it 100% and battle for the top spot, then I'll be here. There's definitely a lot left undone that I haven't accomplished yet, or as far as more that I want to do in the sport on the track and then off the track as well, being a good role model and leader for the sport. But, I feel like our better days are still ahead of us, and I want to, as long as I can do it 100% and, be competitive, then I'll be here. So.
Yeah. Well, and talking about being a role model and a leader, I mean, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and there's so many cool things that you do. I mean, obviously, you've out of the realm of of motocross, but you obviously the first motocross guy on a Wheaties box. I mean, you took the ESPY award last year. I mean, you've been highly successful in pulling in some non-endemic sponsors like Target and that. I mean, it seems like you're a guy. I mean, you do a lot behind the scenes. It's not just on the bike, but giving back.
Yeah, well, I've definitely been I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of great people and a lot of great sponsors. I mean, like you said, the ESPY last year was a huge step for not just myself, but for the whole sport of motocross. Getting that mainstream recognition was awesome. I mean, our sport's got a lot of growth, I feel like, left, so this was good. And then the Wheaties box, to be able to be on the cover and be displayed across the whole country of the United States, it was huge, and it's something that all these things, I want to really benefit the sport of. And for me, I'm definitely for me, it's more just thankful to be a part of stuff like that. And hopefully we got more opportunities to do more great things, such as those things. So I look forward to, giving them my best, and then we'll see what arises. And, motocross has been, I've done it my whole life, so I definitely want to leave it better off than I came in. And I came in 2006, and it's, between the growth of the sport, the bikes, the equipment, the fans, and then our TV packages, we're live every single weekend. It's pretty exciting, so we'll see what we can keep doing, and hopefully there's much more potential and opportunity that all lies ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we let you go, I got one question, and it's been asked. We do a Q&A segment every single week on the show, but it's been asked a lot of times, about me, because I've found a niche in being paid to drive off-road trucks. But a guy like you, I mean, there's a lot of kids that are on their bikes every single weekend, hitting the local tracks and things like that, and you and I both know there's 15 to 20 guys, actually making a living, racing Supercross. I mean, what's your advice to some of these kids coming up and they're watching you on TV on Saturdays and they're hitting the track as much as they can? I mean, do you have any advice for these kids? Because they all want to be the next Ryan Dungey, and you and I both know there's only one of you. But any words of wisdom for these kids on I guess continuing to progress?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just keep it simple. I mean, why you started riding a dirt bike? Because it was fun, right? I mean, I feel like these days, the riders and the parents, especially to the kids, are so focused on, I got to get my kid to the pro level, that, you could buy, your whole childhood could be a blur, because you were so focused on where you wanted to be, you're looking in the future, and you could get there for sure, but these are the times you got to enjoy, and you got to have fun. You got to enjoy riding your bike, because that's when things come easy. That's when you learn new things, when you're kind of open, your mind's open to it. And and as far as if you don't have the funds or the equipment or the best equipment, I didn't either. I as a kid, I feel like I didn't always have the good stuff, the great suspension, the best bike setup, but I didn't know it either. And you know what? I made what I had work, and I did the best I could, and I feel like my parents gave me all the support that they could, and and it made me a better rider because of it, and when you do get the good stuff, it'll just be all that much better. So I say just keep having fun, keep enjoying it, and keep believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then that's a big step, and expect good things. So.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Ryan. I know you're awful busy, but Vegas this weekend. Good luck. Hopefully we can see you cap things off with victory number 9 on the year, I guess, and set your personal best, right?
Yeah, that would be great. We'll try to accomplish that next, and we'll appreciate your time too.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ryan. Good luck, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, buddy. We'll see you.
Yep. See ya. Awesome catching up with Ryan Dungey. Such an awesome guy. I mean, those of you that listen to the show know that I've been a big fan of Ryan Dungey for quite some time, and it's really, really cool after all these years of doing radio. I mean, watching this guy, progress to finally get him on the show and be able to pick his brain on a few things, and the guy just down to earth. just a good dude, and talking about leaving the sport of motocross in a better place than when he started, and it's truly is just a good, solid quality human, and gosh, the accolades this guy's getting. Obviously the ESPY award last year, best male action sports athlete. The Wheaties box this year. I know I've got one of those sitting on a shelf just because the novelty of it. Always like to support things like that, and it just what he's accomplished, it's crazy, and to think that he's just now possibly getting towards his peak, and he's got 3 Supercross championships under his belt. I mean, I think the sky's the limit for Ryan Dungey. It should be interesting to see the next 3 to 5 years what happens in his career, because he could break a lot of records and arguably go down as one of the greatest ever. Not that he isn't already, but I think there's still a lot more to come from Ryan Dungey, and congrats to him on the championship. Well deserved. Obviously, Ken Roczen taking the victory this weekend as well. We'll catch up with him later on the show. Right now, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have Sean Kepler with the Jump Champs on the line, talking about that event coming up this weekend out at Glen Helen here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for. No fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island. The best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line. We got Sean Kepler with the Jump Champs happening this weekend out of Glen Helen. First time event, but I got to tell you, Sean, this thing looks like it's shaping up to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've put quite a bit of work and effort into making this first event bigger than what you would anticipate for a grassroots style time trial race and jump contest. So we've teamed up with a lot of great partners and have been able to get quite a few trucks, UTVs, sand cars, and even some Ultra 4 cars to enter. So there'll be action on the track all day. It's working out to be quite an epic day.
Yeah, well, I know talking with you and Andrea at the Mint, it's one of those things where you guys have pretty much classes for anybody that wants to come out. I know, whether it be a UTV, a trophy truck, a pre-runner, a 1400 truck. I mean, you guys are pretty dialed in and arms wide open, wanting everybody to come out.
Yeah, we were able to lower the barrier to entry by having a time trial event. That allowed us to not have to have window nets or a fuel cell and some of the things that eliminate a lot of the classes or vehicles or people out there. So we realized that you can have a racer and be a pretty hardcore enthusiast, but never have a chance to actually show off what you could do on a track. So we were able to put this together to where it uses part of the short course track at Glen Helen. It uses part of the wash behind it, and then there's also some obstacles we're going to throw in there to make it a little bit like a desert race. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So whether you have a trophy truck or a UTV or an Ultra 4 car, the racing is going to be fun. Our biggest draw right now is the linked pre-runner class and the modified pre-runner class, which are long travel kit front ends and either leaf spring with the bed cage or linked rear ends. And those classes are actually drawn over 20 entries each.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's solid numbers. And how's the format going to work? I mean, obviously, I know it's a time trial event, so everybody get 2, 3, X amount of passes around the track to lay down their best time?
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our drivers meeting just like a regular race. We'll have a little pre-run time set aside so that the guys can learn the course. And then after that, we'll roll right into the time trial. And with our transponder system that we're using the e-time it scoring, which is a live timing scoring system. So it doesn't really matter when you go into line. We're going to have everyone start in a order, but once they do their first lap, people will be able to go tune on their truck or make adjustments and get back in line. And we're basically going to be sending people off every 30 to 45 seconds. So there's going to be action on the track all day, and there'll be plenty of time to get, it looks like about 3 runs in. Then we're going to cut the track short, or cut the day short from there. At about 2 o'clock, the time trials will end. We're going to tally up who the fastest guys were, and Rugged Radio has stepped up and put on a last call event at the end of the day. So we're going to take the top 3 times from each class and allow them to do an additional rally or race to figure out who's going to be the best. So the top 3 guys will have a chance to maybe go from 3rd to 1st or from 2nd to 1st, but there'll be a chance one more time to see the top guys on the track again.
Nice. So it'll be kind of a shootout for, the best of the best, right?
Yeah. So there'll be prizes for the top 3. So just getting in and qualifying will get you some prizes from quite a few of our sponsors. And then winning that last final draw will give you quite a bit more in cash prizes to take home.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I'm pretty stoked on this event. It seems like, I know, you and Andrea and you guys have put in a ton of work into this. And, to me, it's pretty cool, to see an event like this get off the ground and to see the manufacturer and support from, the off-road industry you guys are getting. I think it's pretty remarkable. I mean, it's cool to see, the industry rally around a first-time event like this to make it happen.
Yeah, and what's really nice is it's been so well received, and a lot of people want to help make this first event a success so that next year we can come in a little stronger and have something a little better. So all this hard work is certainly paying off, and we're very appreciative for everyone, the manufacturers that want to help, the entries that have been just flying in, and all the support we've been getting online and from, guys like you allowing us to come and promote our event on your radio show. Yeah. So we're very grateful for the off-road industry's acceptance of our idea. Yeah. So
Well, and I got to ask, I know it was just announced, recently, but you guys are moving this to a one-day event, cramming everything into one day. I think that'll be cool. I mean, people can come out one day. They don't have to spread it over 2 days. But, when do things kick off there in Glen Helen this weekend?
Yeah, so Saturday everything's going to start. 7 a.m. the gates open, and that's when we have tech and registration. We're going to go right into the time trial event, and then that'll end with the Rugged Radio last call. We are moving things forward, so instead of having the jump contest on Sunday, we're actually allowing everyone to enjoy their Sunday. It's Mother's Day, so we're moving the jump contest to Saturday night. That gives us the ability to have the jump under the lights and throw a pit party at night so that everyone that was there all day can now come hang out, enjoy a beer or a beverage, and watch the jump contest take place. So we've been slowly getting more and more entries for the jump contest, and we feel that having the event on Saturday night will allow a lot of the guys that were doing the time trial to roll right into that event. There was quite a few guys that weren't sure if they can make it for Sunday, but this will allow us to get quite a few more entries. And also for the spectators and vendors, it's a one-day format. So it's $10 to get in. You're going to get time trials, you're going to get jump contests, and you're going to get a party in the pits for $10. And you'll be able to camp there. $10 to get in, but camping is free. And there's plenty of room for everyone to bring their land camper, their motorhome, or their trailer out and stay with us for the weekend.
Nice. Well, I got to ask, I know both you and Andrea both know how to wheel a truck. We're going to see you guys in anything this weekend, or are you guys totally wearing the Jump Chaps hat and running things?
Yeah, my race suit will be parked. We are now entertainers and promoters for this weekend. We have both trucks that we're planning on having there at the event. We were looking to put a celebrity driver in one of them and have the Ranger set aside. But right now it's looking like we're going to have it used for the pace truck and also to set the jump up. So we're going to use our vehicles to have them out there, and we'll be behind the wheel leading up to the event and with our marketing and some of the content we want to put out on the days leading up to it. But we will be running around with our heads cut off, I'm sure.
Yeah. Are we going to see you guys racing any events this year? Anything planned? I know you guys have both done some Lucas short course. I know a little desert here and there. There's always the Powder Puff race. We're going to see you guys behind the wheel at all this year?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen quite a few events that have really stoked our interest. So Score has the Battle at Prim style race at Rosarito. That looks really good. Nice. Robbie Gordon has that Mike's Peak hill climb.
Yeah,
that's a time trial race in Mexico. We just saw that. That looked great. So between those two big events for desert, we were stoked. And then the regionals, because they're in our backyard, Glen Helen and Elsinore are only 20 minutes from us. We plan on coming back out, and she wants to wheel the mini stock, and I want to see her get up on the podium again. So.
Awesome.
We definitely want to get back out there and keep racing. We wanted to give a little bit back to the industry for everything that we've been lucky enough to get, and that's one reason why we decided to go and put on an event like this.
Nice, awesome. Well, before we let you go, where can people find out more information on Jump Champs if they want to get entered, if they want to come out and spectate? Where are all the details?
Well, our biggest avenue is just like everyone else. Instagram at Jump Champs. You can find us on Facebook and follow us on there. We have an event on Facebook which has a lot of details and a lot of questions people have been asking. So there's a lot of information to be found on there. Of course, our website, the jumpchamps.com, it has the entry form, the entry list of all the guys that are there, course previews, our sponsors, and everyone else that's helped make this a success. So it's definitely growing, and with everyone's support, we're hoping to take this into the future.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, to call into the show, and good luck this weekend out there at the event. Hopefully, it goes off, and looking forward to seeing many more years of Jump Champs.
Definitely, we appreciate you helping us out and having us on the show, and maybe next year we'll be able to get you on the track.
Yeah, I'm already thinking, man, it'd be fun to either bring a UTV out or even the trophy truck or something. Yeah, I definitely want to get out there and get dialed in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sean.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Good catching up with Sean Kepler. always fun. I was able to interview him and Andrea. Amy and I did out there at the Mint 400 a couple months back, when they were just getting the ball rolling with this whole Jump Champs movement. But definitely this weekend, if you're not going to Laughlin Desert Challenge, you need to be going to Jump Champs out there. Glen Helen should be a solid event, time trial format and then some jumping. Shoot, to me, that sounds like a blast. Take your razor out there. Take whatever you got, it's a run what you brung, some of because of the time trial format, you don't have to have some of the safety items you need to go and run a desert race. And so, I think it looks to me like it's going to be a blast. You did note in there something I've been wanting to talk about, kind of dropped after last week's show. Robbie Gordon announcing a new event. It's called Mike's Peak, Stadium Super Truck event, an exhibition Stadium Super Trucks event, and taking place in Mexico. Mike's Sky Ranch, anybody that knows Baja knows Mike's Sky Ranch. It's just synonymous with Baja. It's basically Mike's Sky Ranch is this really cool, I call it a resort, but we're not talking like 5-star resort. It's like a hotel with a pool. And but it's out in the middle of nowhere, up on a mountaintop in Baja, and you talk about the Mike Sky Ranch Loop when you're on the Baja 500, always grueling around there. There's this awesome road, I don't know, about 30 miles long maybe, give or take. It's like it's graded fire roads, and I use the term graded loosely. I've been down there when it's rougher than hell, and then I've been there when it's silky smooth. Well, I can't say silky smooth. I don't think it's ever been silky smooth. But anyways, Robbie decided, hey, let's throw down. Everybody loves it. It's one of my favorite parts of the Baja 500 course is running that road, right? So Robbie goes, hey, man, let's throw down. Let's take Stadium Super Trucks down there. Basically run, a version of Pikes Peak in Mexico, but it's longer than Pikes Peak, and now it's dirt, whereas Pikes Peak, we all know that's been paved. I think it's a tremendous idea. I think the turnout's going to be off the hook. I would love to go down there and run it. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but that's definitely something in 2017 I want to put in my schedule. And everybody's open. And, it doesn't matter if you've got an off-road truck, a short course truck, a trophy truck, a razor, bikes, quads. If you've got a Pikes Peak hill climb, if you got a rally car, it'd be perfect for an all-wheel drive rally car. He's arms wide open. Come, bring it. And the good news is there's no records. This is a new event. So, this is the first year, you win your class or your group, you know what? You're going to be a world record holder at least for a year. So, I don't know. I think it's tremendous. Tip of the cap to Robbie Gordon, always thinking out of the box. And, I am definitely looking forward to seeing how this goes. I know we've been needing to get Robbie Gordon back on air for quite some time. I think I need to shoot him a text and reach out to him and see what we can dial in. He's been super busy. That Stadium Super Truck schedule is just crazy this year, which is good. I mean, it's crazy good. All over the globe, doing a lot in Australia that is open their arms, wide to Stadium Super Trucks and what they're doing down there. Australia always supporting anything motorsports, though. Looking forward to this Mike's Peak event, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about that as we get closer to that thing kicking off. But we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. After the break, we got a Dirtfish Rally Report coming straight at you.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the two-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here on another edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Flying a little bit solo this week, but good news is I'm flying solo without my partner in crime. But, man, we got packed guests, so I am not alone today on air, that's for sure. But right now we're going to skip to a Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And don't forget, Mother's and Father's Day is coming up. They've got some specials. Check out their social media for those. Lots of discounts and, and swag giveaways and everything else for those of you who want to get your significant others or your mom and dad some fun trip to Dirtfish for Mother and Father's Day. Also, Olympus Rally coming up. If you're in the Washington area, up there, Seattle, Olympia, you want to volunteer. Definitely need all kinds of volunteers to help out make that event possible. Other events coming up this weekend, we got World Rallycross coming at you from Hockenheim, and man, we're gonna, World Rallycross this year, I don't know, it's tough to call other than Petter Solberg is just dialed in, but I mean, gosh, you got Block, Becker, Sebastian Loeb, Liam Dorn. I mean, it's just crazy how packed that World Rallycross field is. And also happening, we had the NORA Mexican 1000 Rally going on. We had Jim Bolt taking the win there overall, Greg DiStefano finishing up second, and Steve Ologis in third, Dave Weston fourth, and in fifth overall, it was Kevin Reardon. And then looking at the bike results for the event, it was Ricky Johnson taking the overall. We had Steve Grieb, Christopher Hart, Marcielo Uribe, and Jennifer Morton, your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the NORA Mexican 1000 in the books, that vintage rally down there. That's a mix of both vintage and modern cars. Always look forward to that. And, man, this Red Bull Global Rallycross opener is getting closer there in Phoenix, and we're starting to roll out some news and some information on that. So definitely be checking Red Bull GRC's website for all of that. But this has been your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And with that, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll come back here with a little more Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and it's been one heck of a first hour here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. It doesn't get much bigger than Ryan Dungey, your 2015-2016 Supercross champ, and great finally catching up with him. And I got to say, hour number 2, we're just ramping things up. We got Ken Roczen, your winner, on a win streak there in Supercross. He's calling in, sitting second in the points right now in the 450 class. He's going to be calling in here in hour number 2. We got Collette Davis, Red Bull GRC driver, and all-around badass on 4 wheels. She's going to be on the line as well. We got my good friend Joe Duncan from Terracross, and he's calling in from someplace special from what I understand. So definitely looking forward to catching up with Joe here in a bit. And I got to tell you, I've been having a heck of a lot of fun on all things 4 wheels lately. Obviously haven't raced a trophy truck in a couple of months, but man, this new Subaru WRX STI they dropped me. Hopefully you've been following around with my Subaru shenanigans videos I've been posting. Did some reverse 180s. I know before that, we had some handbrake turns and things like that. Having a ton of fun in that WRX. Then in my Polaris RZR's been banging around the dunes. Had a lot of you fans requesting, hey Jimmy, you're doing some cool stuff, shooting cool pictures. Please post some video. So I know I was failing at video. Hand raised in the air right now. Yep, I was a failure at video on social media. I just never put much thought, time, or effort into it. I should have been doing it, but thanks to you guys, and thanks to Terracross and GoPro, who hooked me up with like 3 or 4 GoPros and all kinds of accessories. I've been banging out some clips and things like that. Can't say that you're ever going to see a 5 or 10 minute video edit from me, but I'm having some fun, banging out some clips here and there. So hopefully you guys are following on it along on my social media. And as always, man, hit me up and hit Amy up. Obviously, she's not on air today, but she'll be back next week at Jim Beaver 15 or at Amy Hood 71. Instagram, Twitter, direct message, Facebook. You can use the contact form on the website like a lot of you guys do at downanddirtyshow.com. But I love getting fan feedback. Love hearing from you guys. Like hearing what you like, what you hate. Hey, I'm not going to judge you if you don't like something I said or did, or you want something changed on the show. If there's enough of you that bark at me about it, hey, we'll change it, man. Like I've always said, this is a fan-driven show. A lot of you said, hey, we want Dungey on air, we want Roczen on air. I went out, we nailed down those interviews, we got it, and it just so happened a perfect storm to get them in the same week. But like I've always said, this is all about fan content. I know some of you said, hey, we want more short course. We're going to try and do that in the future, but that's where we're at. So we're going to take a short commercial break. Joe Duncan from Terracross coming up next here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and my good friend Joe Duncan from Terracross is on the line with me. It's time to switch gears, talk a little Terracross here. And where are you at, Joe? I know from what I understand, you aren't exactly in your normal spot there, buddy.
No, you know me, and never one spot too long. So we're roaming the state side of Minnesota, and I'm here with the Caliber Products people down on the south side of Minneapolis. And Caliber Products is one of our great partners here at Terracross. And as we discussed, Jimmy, we're going to, every week we're going to try and bring on one of our partners and one of our athletes and start bringing this radio show Terracross portion up to speed with what's going on with Terracross for the 2016 season.
Yeah, well, and I know Caliber Products, I know, I was exposed to them a couple of years ago, but even last year, I know in our amazing, we get these amazing, as a Terracross driver, these amazing, like, athlete bags, packed with stuff from all the series sponsors, and I know Caliber had a bunch of stuff in there, and just some amazing products, and stoked to have them, part of Terracross, and, from what I understand, they've got some pretty cool projects in the works for this year.
Yeah, for sure. They're well known in the snowmobile industry and really making some headway in the UTV and ATV industry. And I'm going to let them tell a little bit about their products here in a minute. But we've got Paul, Randy, and Joe here from Caliber Products. And last year we had an amazing season. They were partnered up with another one of our partners, and this year they're stepping up and they want a Caliber car out there racing. But we got a little dilemma, Jimmy, and we're going to need your help and all the great fans of the Down and Dirty radio show and social media. And we're going to go out searching for that racer somewhere out there in the greater U.S. or somewhere in the world to come and race this Caliber Products Polaris Razor XP 1000 on the Terracross series. And that comes with full training and the full setup to come and race with us. And you know the story with Terracross and how you get started, Jimmy. And the Caliber is up for the challenge, and we're going to do this big social media push, and we're kicking it off here on your show with breaking the news.
That's amazing. You know what? I'm getting all excited about this already, and I know I'm going to be running Terracross this year. But you hear on social media, and just talking with Ryan Dungey earlier, on the show, and he's talking to these young kids always. How do I get a sponsor? How do I get here? How do I get there? Like, hey, you listeners, we're telling you right now the way it sounds. You guys are, always, hey, I don't have the money to go racing. Hey, look, get on social media, support this. You could find yourself in a Polaris RZR out racing Terracross.
Yeah, this is great. I got Paul here from Caliber, who was on board with us last year.
Yeah, so guys, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity. It's been really fun working with Joe and bringing our business into a different segment. We've always been known in the snowmobile industry for quite some time. We came out with a new, what I'd like to say, the best ramp on the market, safest, most universal, that accommodates UTV and ATV. And with that being said, we talked to Joe a little bit about getting involved in the Terracross circuit last year because of our new push into a different segment of products. And it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure to work with him professionally alongside of a lot of the talents and the people that come together. I can't say enough about the actual Terracross program. When we, let's just say, broke an axle and went back in the pits, and they pulled it together and got us back on the road again, down to the training, down to getting our machines and putting all the dials and the details on. It's just been an incredible experience. What I think we're talking about today, which is really unique and exciting, is the fact that you're right. There aren't a lot of people that know when and where and how to get involved or be a Terracross racer, and that's what we're kind of talking about today. We're going to open up the floodgates and kind of find out what kind of talent is out there and let people actually apply for an opportunity to race our RZR for the season. So what that means is not only are you really good at racing a RZR, but you're also really good at being a spokesperson for the industry and for yourself and for our brand. So that being said, I want to say thanks again and look forward to an incredible season as Joe continues to move the Terracross bar up a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, it's not only big for Terracross, but this is huge for your company. I mean, that's a solid investment. I mean, obviously you guys have been around a while, but that's definitely giving back to the sport, and it not only benefits you, but it benefits the sport of off-road in general. And props to you guys. I mean, tip of the cap to you guys for making this happen. I think it's going to bring not only recognition to your brand, but really create a buzz around the entire industry. And I think the opportunities are limitless. I think you guys are going to get people coming out of the woodwork trying to win a ride.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. So Joe, what else is happening there in Minnesota? You know me in Minnesota, man. That's like my second home, my home away from home. My wife's from there, and I can't wait. We're already putting together our plans for the summer to go up and spend some time on a lake there. But what's going on with you, and what else is happening there at Caliber?
Well, we're just down here at the Caliber headquarters, and working on our programs for this year. And we'll make some announcements. Jimmy, we'll get to you for your social media on how to enter and how to send in your resume and like Caliber product on Facebook and all that good stuff. But lots going on. Actually, tomorrow I'm heading up to see the guys up in Fox Shocks up in Brainerd, and going up to hang out with them, as well as a couple other Terracross partners up in the North Country, and getting ready for the season. Believe it or not, we got summer coming. 80 degrees here in good old Minnesota on Saturday after a long, cold, wet couple of weeks right now. So looking good for summer to be right around the corner.
Yeah, lake life is calling, right?
Yes, it is. Lake life and RZR life right around the corner.
Yeah, that's what's funny. We're here in Arizona, and my wife and I, we took out the RZRs and a couple of our friends this weekend, and we're like, all right, we need to have one last hurrah. Went on like a big 5-6 hour long ride out through the desert and got sunburnt, and we're sweating the whole time. And it's like, all right, maybe it's time to park the RZRs for the summer. Well, you guys up in Minnesota, you're just pulling them out going, hey, this is riding time,
We got to play with them in the snow, as you know, and which is a blast. And now we get them out in the spring, which is the mud, and then we get them out in the summer because it's not really that warm here in the summer. And then we can ride them to the boats. They go out on the boats. So you got kind of the best of all worlds. And you know, when you come up here, you like to have a good time, and you like to play with the motorsports. So you got kind of the best of all worlds there.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I like going up there. I can go and play, and I don't melt to death like I do here in Arizona. But yeah, you, me, and Levi will have to get together and do some riding or some boating or something this summer. I think we're all within about a 50-mile radius up on the lakes of each other. So
I was just talking with Levi. Actually, I was up there for lunch about a week and a half ago, and yeah, he just got the boat out. The lake was glass the other morning, and he can't wait to get out there. At the same time, he's got himself a new dozer. I think he talked about it on the show a few weeks ago, but had himself a new dozer, and he's starting to build his Terracross course and his dirt bike course to start prepping for summer play activities.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, a guy, he sends me text messages. Hey, look what I'm building, Jimmy. And I'm like, man, I'm sitting here melting, and he's showing me, ramps on his dock for his bicycles and things like that. I'm going, come on, Levi, like, this is teasing me,
Well, he's got to talk to Caliber now. We got to get Caliber to build him a couple of those ramps for out there.
Yeah, I tell you what, we do that here in the summer too, man. I could use some ramps. That's how we stay cool. Lake jumping your bikes into the river here. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to call in. We'll definitely start promoting and pumping this out on social media. As soon as you guys are ready, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys on this project and help get the word out.
That sounds awesome. We really appreciate the opportunity.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, thank you guys. We'll definitely talk soon, and talk to you soon as well, Joe.
Thanks, Jimmy. Talk to you next week, buddy.
All right, you too, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Joe Duncan with Terracross and the boys from Caliber Products here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Collette Davis with Red Bull GRC is on the line.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and joined on the line by Red Bull GRC Lights driver Collette Davis. How's everything going, Collette?
Hey there, it's going good.
Well, I know. I got to say, sorry. I know you and Amy are buddies. She's out trying to, as she said on social media today, save the world. So you're stuck with just me in studio today. But no, excited to have you back. I think it's been probably close to a year since we've had you on, right?
Probably. I can't even believe it's been already a year. Like already this off season felt like it was about a week long. So yeah, it probably has been a year.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely too long. We gotta change that. We gotta do it more often. But how about you? I mean, last I saw, from social media, you guys have been banging out the test sessions in your race car, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. I just started my off-season training a bit on the later side about a month ago. So beginning of April. I got in the car again for the first time in 2016 with a new team and just trying to really get some laps in before the first race of the year, getting used to the car again and working with a new team. So far it's been freaking amazing. Like it's mind-blowing how just working and focusing a lot on setup and really trying to understand the car and working with a team that really understands the car, how much it's had an effect on me as a driver. So like even though just starting back in the car in the past month, I just feel so much better. So I definitely feel like I'm driving the car for the first time, which is a little crazy. But it's good. It's been really good few test sessions.
Yeah. Well, and it's got to be exciting for you looking at, at this year of, Red Bull GRC, being able to, kind of get the monkey off your back. A rookie season is done. It's over with. It's like, all right, let's move forward. We know how this works now. We've spent a year, you know what I mean? We understand how the racing is going to be. It's got to have you really excited about this year. You were able to kind of try things out, and get a feel for everything. And this year, hey, let's go racing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's exploded too in popularity just in this year from, a driver entry standpoint. This year, I think we're looking at the lights field being like 16 cars, maybe even more. So, that's crazy, just from last year to this year. And, there's definitely going to be some top talent from all over coming to it. So the competition is definitely going to be pretty intense this year, and I think that'll make for even better racing.
Yeah, I keep looking, and it's like people are coming out of the woodwork to race the lights class. I'm like, where are these people coming from? It's crazy. Every time I turn around, there's another entry, and you guys, it looks like you guys are going to have a deeper field, than the supercars, and some of the racing last year was tremendous in the lights. I'm definitely looking forward to this year.
Yeah, no, the field is definitely getting stacked. I think they might even limit how many cars can come in the lights field just because it's gotten so popular. And yeah, like you said, so many people, a lot of karters too. Like if they were racing pro kart around the U.S., maybe this is their next move to move up into cars. People from open wheel racing or off-road racing. It's an awesome conglomerate of different types of people with racing backgrounds, and it's crazy. So I think this year it's going to be even better racing, definitely more competition, and a pretty awesome year in GRC.
Yeah. Well, and how's your program, looking for this year? Obviously, I know you've got some big announcements, coming very soon. I don't know if they've dropped yet, or if they're still coming later on this week. But you've got to be pretty darn excited with 2016 and what your program's bringing.
Yeah. So we are doing a new team announcement, I think this Thursday. So we keep an eye out on Red Bull Global Rallycross's social media and website pages. It should be there on Thursday. So River Racing, we are going to be announcing a new partner team that we're going to compete with for the 2016 season, and I'm so excited. It's already been, like I said, amazing working with them on the past few tests that we've had, and I definitely think we're going to come out a lot stronger this year for sure.
Yeah. Well, that being said, what have you been doing this off season? Because not only do you wear the hat of race car driver, I mean, you're an entrepreneur. You've got your hands in so many different things. I mean, what have you been busy with this off season? Because you're one of those like me. I mean, you find these businesses and you do what you have to do to be able to fund your racing addiction. I mean, what's the off season been like for you this year?
Well, I think like a lot of racers are really busy on the business end of things, just trying to, reflect on the 2016 season and, right when that last race hits, all you're focused on is 2016 and working with my partners and getting new partners on board and really working with River to go into this second year with River Racing a lot stronger than last year. Like you said, now that we've done it, our rookie year is behind us. We know more so what to expect when we're going to the GRC races and the flow of it and what we can do. Now working with River in the off season, just figuring out all the types of VR content we're going to film, because we're definitely going to film a lot more virtual reality experiences where anyone can literally sit shotgun in the race car with me at all the tracks. So that's going to be awesome. And aside from sponsor and partner work, I've really just been training as much as I can outside of the car, doing a bunch of different CrossFit workouts and other like jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and doing a lot of karting. So anytime that if I can't get in the race car, I'm usually in my go-kart at Sonoma. So that's kind of taken up most of my time, and now it's already 19 days until the first race, maybe 18 now, so it's a little crazy. It went by really fast.
Yeah. Well, obviously we talked, and you've got a year under your belt now in Red Bull GRC. I mean, what were some of the takeaways that you learned in 2015 that you can apply to 2016 that maybe you weren't expecting, or what did you learn last year that maybe you had no idea about heading into your rookie year?
I think just the type of racing is so unique. It's very unique compared to anything that I've done in the past, but even from the different backgrounds that people have from open wheel racing to off-road racing, coming to GRC, it's just a completely different animal from how aggressive the races are, like how many people are going over the jump at one time. Like I learned how to take jumps last year for the first time. Last year was the first time using a handbrake in racing, and the first time that I was really doing this type of aggressive racing, because in open wheel racing, you don't want to touch each other. Touching wheels is not a good thing, because you really hurt yourself in open wheel racing. So I think a lot was learned on just the style of racing, how aggressive you have to be, how the weekends flow. So, going into this year, I know what to expect, more or less. And, it's mainly focused on me as a driver and pushing myself more this year, really trying to understand the car. The GRC Life car is a very, very unique car. It's not going to be like a supercar when you do go up to supercars, but there's very unique things about the way you have to drive it. It's lower horsepower, so it's all about momentum with this car and keeping it in higher RPM. So I think, for me this year, a year under my belt, I really just want to focus on developing myself as a driver more and really, really understanding this car.
Yeah, well, and talking about understanding the car, I'm sure now that you've got a year under your belt and a ton of seat time, and in the car that there's some things now that you can look for in the car, and you understand the handling a bit more and things like that, and setup, so you can tell how what things are doing and when something isn't wrong, and you're able to go back and correct that, and go back out on track.
Oh yeah, I mean last year, gosh, it was like, I think maybe 20 different things went wrong last year, from different part failures, things falling off the car, like headers breaking, flywheels fusing, or clutches fusing, fuel pumps going. So it was a big learning year. And for me, since it was so new, if something went wrong, I never knew, hey, this is fuel pump. I just didn't have that background of knowledge. So now that I've kind of been through a year with a bunch of shit going down almost every race weekend, it's definitely more ingrained in my head, something's going wrong, I have more of a background to help the crew find out what it is, and just be more prepared and looking into the future. If something always failed, now we're going to replace it more than we thought we had to last year. So it was good. It was a really good learning year. Obviously everyone wants to come out really strong their rookie year. I think we had some good luck and some bad luck, but going into this year, with the new team we'll be announcing with, I'm super optimistic. Even off-season training, I feel a lot better, and I think this is going to be a good year for us.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, I heard a little rumor that you may be trying to put together a program to also possibly do a little Terracross racing if it works out.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. I definitely want to. I know I've talked to Amy about it. It was like, that looks like so much fun. And I've been talking to Joe, and I don't know. I think I'm going to have to, apply for this Caliber products ride. It sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, and that's what's funny, because I knew that was coming, and before the show, Joe's
I was raising my hand.
Yeah, Joe's texting me before the show. You know what I mean? He's like, "Hey, we're going to announce this Caliber products thing." He's like, "Make sure and tell Collette about it." He's like, "She'd be perfect." So
no, I was for sure raising my hand when that was announced. So, no, I'll definitely have to hit him up. And I didn't know you were from Minnesota.
No, my wife's from Minnesota. I'm from Arizona, but I go back there a ton. I mean, I spend probably 2 months out of the year back in Minnesota, so it literally is like my home away from home. So.
I love everybody from Minnesota. So my boyfriend's from Minnesota, and just every single time I'm over there, everyone is so happy. Yeah. Like, everyone is so nice in Minnesota. It's mind-blowing. So even in San Francisco, I think whenever I wear like a Minnesota Wild hockey jersey, all the Minnesotans in California just like find you. You'll be in the middle of a bar in San Francisco, and if you're wearing anything Minnesota, whoever else is from Minnesota will just find you, offer you a drink, hang out, like you're already friends just because you like Minnesota. It's great.
It's totally that way. It's totally that way. So, all right. Well, we got a commercial break we got to get to, Collette, but I appreciate the time on air today. And like I said, we definitely need to catch up. I think I'll be out in Phoenix, so hopefully we can catch up there.
Perfect. I will see you there.
All right. Thanks a lot, Collette. And that being said, we got to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, and we'll be back with Ken Roczen.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the two-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and we got the big winner from the weekend, Ken Roczen, on the line. How's everything going, Ken?
Excellent, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, stoked to have you on, buddy, and you want to talk about some momentum. I would say you are definitely the hot ticket right now. Picked up a couple of wins the past two events. You've got 5 podiums in a row now. I mean, you guys definitely have a lot of momentum this Supercross season.
Yeah, we absolutely do. We did some changes to the bike going into Santa Clara, and that helped me out big time. I can finally do whatever I want with the bike, and not the bike do with me. So yeah, that helped us out a lot. And we could have had a couple of more wins, I think, here and there, because we've just been working really good together, and things have been working out great. But I got 3 seconds in a row and 2 wins in a row right now, and we're planning on finishing the season off strong next weekend in Vegas.
Take us through the ups and downs, of a Supercross season, because, it's such a grind, and we've talked with other Supercross riders on the show, but, Supercross is unlike, any other motorsport. The only thing I can think of with the grind would be NASCAR, just because it's every single weekend. Not only, you guys don't have any downtime. As soon as the event's over, you may get a day or two at home, and then you're off to the next event. How does that wear on you as a rider throughout the year?
It's pretty tough. We had around, I think, 11 or 12 races in a row, and then we had 1 weekend off, and then we have the last few, and it's overall 17 rounds. So, it can definitely get hard. It's just, you have to try. It's not just the racing, but all the training we're doing, and you have to travel every weekend, and that can be quite far. It definitely wears on your body, but with my program this year, I'm as fit as I can be, and things are not wearing as much on me this year than with my previous programs. They were a little different, and I started bogging down. But I finally, me and my trainer Peter Park, we have found a great system and a great program to be able to do what we do this late in the season.
Well, and that being said, heading into 2016 Supercross, obviously, you had some wins last year, coming off a big win at in October at the Energy Cup. What was your predictions coming in this year? Because obviously you're riding at a high level. You had Dungey coming off the Supercross Championship, and there's a ton of guys that are gunning for you guys.
Absolutely. Our expectations are high, or my expectations are high. I don't settle for anything less than a championship. We had some great momentum this year, and it seems like we finally figured out the bike a lot more, and that helped all of us out. Where last year, it was we were in a little bit of a tough spot. Also some injuries, so I couldn't race the full season. This is actually only my second full season that I'm racing this year. But hey, I think the most important thing is that things are clicking and I'm having fun, because that makes racing and the training a lot easier. And I've enjoyed every single race, every bit of it.
Yeah.
That makes it fun and easy, and I can't wait to actually finally start the outdoor season. We have been riding Supercross for months and months, so finally we're starting to ride big outdoor tracks. It's just a lot different, but I'm having a blast with that too.
Yeah, and when does that transition start for you as a rider? Because obviously Supercross and outdoors, it's two totally different bike setups, two totally different worlds. When do you flip a switch in your mind and start training for outdoors versus Supercross, or start doing some crossover for both? Is it about a month left in Supercross, or how do you make that transition as a rider?
Yeah, that's about right. I would say I started riding motocross, a few weeks ago. Obviously, in between when we had the off weekend, I went to California and got some testing done there. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do, but we usually start with about, I would say, the last month, like you said, for Supercross is when we start transitioning over riding motocross once a week, and now I have just been doing 2 days a week because we've ridden Supercross for months now. So it doesn't really, if anything, actually, motocross helps you because it is just a different type of endurance and makes you a little bit sharper. Yeah. So, we're trying really hard to get everything settled and get everything right because we do, after next weekend in Vegas, we do only have one off weekend and then we go straight into outdoors. So it is definitely, bike setting-wise, quite a bit different, and also starting riding motocross, it's a lot harder on your body, so it just takes a couple of weeks to get used to. But training-wise, so far, hasn't changed for me. When you're fit, you're fit. It's all about getting seat time on the bike.
Well, and you got to be pretty pumped. Outdoors, you get to virtually, start all over again. You're riding at such a high level right now. It seems like, things on the Suzuki have really started clicking for you guys and the team. It's got to be really exciting with the prospects of, hey, here in a couple of weeks, we're riding at our best we have all year, and we get to start over from scratch.
Exactly, and I'm going to definitely start off the season pushing hard and definitely have to battle for race wins. You can see Dungey has been really, really consistent, so you cannot settle for anything less than a podium, and that's got to happen every single weekend. The good thing about it is that you got to have a lot of endurance, and you do have 2 motos during the day, and there's some time to make up here and there, but you cannot settle for, especially my mindset is I'm not settling for anything less than a win, but you got to be smart, Sometimes it just doesn't happen, and you got to keep cool and then focus on to the next weekend.
Yeah, well, and I think, both with outdoors and, and Supercross, a lot of guys, get frustrated. And like you said, there's days you show up to the track and you just don't have the bike, or you just know, hey, this isn't my week to win, and sometimes it just happens that way. And I think you're right. Some days you just need to go, hey, the best I can do is a podium. I'm probably not going to win this week. And a lot of guys get frustrated and throw the whole race away, trying to get that win. And you as a rider, and you can tell you're mature. You're just like, hey, we're going to take the best and the most points we can get this weekend, and hopefully we can go for the win next weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, like you said, a lot of people try to rush things and then make a huge mistake and possibly even get injured. So that's definitely a no-go. You don't want to throw yourself out of the championship, especially early in the championship. When it comes down to the last race, you gotta. If you ain't got nothing to lose, it's not like you're gonna go stupid and do something gnarly on purpose. But, I think you get, as a rider, everybody has their ups and downs and their off days, but it's really, people say that you win the championship on bad days. So how can you, minimize mistakes and instead of doing a big one, even on a bad day, settle sometimes for a podium, which is not a bad thing by any means. Yeah. So I think the big caliber riders are thinking about the whole season, so a championship rather than just one race or one moto.
Yeah, well, and how has that been for you? Because, you're still a young guy, but it seems like, you've switched from, being the young gun coming in, and everybody's like, oh, man, we got to watch out for Roczen. Now you're the veteran, and there's guys that are coming in, that are rookies and things like that. How has that been for you? Because you're such a young guy racing, but, you're considered one of the veterans. You're the guy that's there week in and week out and fighting for wins. How has that been for you, the shift, or has it just kind of been organic and, nothing's changed?
Things have actually happened pretty quick. This is my third year in the 450 class, and man, the time flew by. I can remember coming in, you have race, and that makes it a lot easier because you got nothing to think about. But I think, I can handle pressure really good, and because I'm not letting anybody pressure me because my goals are really high. So I'm making my own pressure. But that's what it's about. A lot of riders are really good in practice and training, but once it comes to racing, they kind of just fold. And that is to get a championship, you can't do that. I'm definitely a racer. As soon as the gate drops, we're going. But yeah, it's crazy to think that these 2.5 years now, they went by so quick, especially with my year last year, being injured and stuff. Obviously, I rode the whole outdoor season, but I came in injured into that one too. It's been crazy, but I've always loved the challenge of coming into a new spot, and I want to battle it up at the front right away. And this is what I'm going for every single time.
Yeah, well, and as a rider, I mean, it seems like, how has this year been in particular? It seems like Supercross, it seems like the track design has been a lot different than years past this year.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't remember when I really got injured last year, but it was about round 8 or 9, whatever. I skipped quite a few races. So the year before, I haven't this year. I basically on some tracks skipped a whole year. And then, you come there, you kind of forget how the track conditions were and this and that. So there's a lot of different types of dirt out there, which makes a huge difference with bike setup, too. They just develop very, very different. But I do have to say that this year, even though, I guess you can consider me a veteran somewhat since there's new riders coming in every year. Yeah, it's a learning experience, and I learned a lot this year, believe it or not. And I think I'm just that much of a better racer right now.
Yeah, it's got to have you really excited for the 2017 Supercross season.
I sure am, especially right now. Usually towards the end of Supercross, I was getting really tired because I've gotten overworked. But right now, I feel like I'm actually starting to peak right now. And I think it's important just to try to keep that alive and keep that going, and just be consistent and strong over the whole year, rather than peaking very early and then dropping off in the end.
Well, and how has it been with you? I mean, obviously, making the switch to RCH Suzuki, a year or so back, and how has that switch been? Because obviously now, you guys are firing on all cylinders. It's gas on, game on. How's it been with you? Working with Carmichael and Hart. You got some veterans there. Obviously, it's a top-notch organization you moved to. How was that transition? Because now it seems like, everything is absolutely, working great for you guys.
Well, honestly, that doesn't really matter, because realistically, it is me, my mechanic, and a few people from the team. But, obviously Kerry and Ricky, they're team owners, but they're not very much involved at all with what's going on with the bike and the ideas and the plans that we have and with testing. So, no, it's awesome to have those kind of guys behind us, but it's not like they're like Ricky is testing for us and this and that. Obviously, we always have their support. In the mosh pit right now, it's my mechanic, me, and a few people from the team. We're coming up with these ideas to make the suspension better and this and that.
Yeah. Any events in outdoors, any tracks that you're looking forward to revisiting?
Honestly, there's a bunch of rat tracks. I really like Colorado. I do like Indiana. The last race, there's actually quite a few tracks that are pretty badass. The thing is, back when I was racing in Europe at the GPs, it seemed like they always changed the track somewhat. Here, you're coming to the track, and they're pretty much the same every year. So it makes it, like in Supercross, they have a new track every single weekend, and every year there's always a total different layout. It makes it somewhat easier, because you can say when you go to Washougal, you know the track already and the dirt, and it just kind of stays the same year after year. So, but overall, like I said, there's a bunch of rad tracks out there that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, and here's a question. Like you were talking about outdoors. Obviously, you've been on a 450 a couple of years now. And obviously the 250 before that. How many notes? Setup and things like that. Can you carry over from your days of a 250 and transition into the 450? How's that transition been for you as a rider? But was there anything you could take? As far as notes and setup and things like that, and transfer them to this platform?
Not at all.
None.
The 250 is a whole different story. The 250 and a 450. I have always been a guy that, I love 250, but I've always been a guy that loved the bigger bike. I know there's a lot of riders out there that don't. They're more 250 guys because they're kind of small and they like revving the bike, and you don't get very far with that in the 450 class. So settings and those kind of things, you can absolutely take nothing from the 250. So you have to kind of restart and reboot and go into the 450. For me, the transition was pretty easy. Yeah. But then, again, we have a lot more races in the 450, so I think that is more what people struggle with.
Well, and like you said, it seemed like right out of the box, you were at home on the 450. You see some of the guys make the transition to 250 to 450, and they just never have the speed that they did on a 250. It's like oil and water for them. And
it's the bike is a lot heavier and a lot more powerful. So bike handling, especially Supercross and the whoops and stuff, is a whole nother story. At 250, like when I go on a 250 right now, I feel like I can bend the bars on the bike. You know what I mean? You can't do that with a 450. So it whoops in a 250. It just does. They kind of float over the whoops. With a 450, there's a whole nother deal, especially when they get rough. You know, you get side to side a lot. They have a lot more power. And actually, as you gas it in the whoops, it sucks the bike down a lot. So you tend to miss one, and it's really about bike setting a lot.
Well, before we let you go, what are the predictions this weekend? Vegas, the finale. You going to keep the streak alive?
Absolutely. That's the plan. We're going to finish it out strong. Hopefully make it 3 in a row. I'm super motivated and confident. So I'm gonna treat it, of course, with respect, but I'm gonna try to go out there, and I ripped the whole shot this past weekend. I'm gonna try to do the same thing and just never look back.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Ken. I know you're awful busy, and you finally get a bit of a downtime, and now you got some guy hitting you up for an interview. But appreciate the call in, and good luck this weekend.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me in the studio.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, buddy. Awesome interview with Ken Roczen, your winner, heading into Vegas, looking to keep his streak alive. And that being said, we got to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, and winding things down here. And, sometimes in the radio business, you guys have been with me long enough, some of you for a long, long time, some of you just maybe new listeners tuning in through our Sports Byline USA national syndication. But, once in a while, as with any radio show, sometimes you hit a single, sometimes you hit a double, sometimes a triple, sometimes a home run. Today would be considered a grand slam. in the radio world, not every day you get Ken Roczen, Ryan Dungey on air, and then throwing Collette Davis and talking some jump champs and Joe Duncan from Terracross, and all in all, a very good day to do radio here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And bummer, my partner in crime, Amy Hood, couldn't be here, but she'll be back next week. You can give us both a follow at JimBeaver15 or at AmyHood71 on Instagram and Twitter. DownandDirtyShow.com for all those back episodes. Download our app, available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store. Facebook.com/DownandDirtyShow. There's a social media tag as well. Got to thank Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, KC Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, MTX, Terracross, Blue Water Resort and Casino. And be sure and tune in to Supercross this weekend from Vegas. We got World Rallycross coming up, Torque, Best in the Desert from Laughlin, Formula Drift this weekend, Red Bull GRC Opener in Phoenix. Whole lot more to come here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Thanks to all you for tuning in each and every week, and definitely game on.